Hi, I'm Carl Hose. I'd like to welcome you to another masterclass from ARC Magazine. Today we're going to be talking about welding stainless steel to carbon steel, a dissimilar metals type application. And that is often done in industry for various things, power plants, for power generation industry, process piping. When I worked in a steel mill, we used to weld oxygen lines where we would have an austenitic stainless steel pipe to a carbon steel pipe. And it's also done in exhaust systems. Exhaust systems on cars are sometimes made out of stainless steel, different grades of stainless steel, and sometimes you're welding maybe one family of stainless to another. First consideration is what filler metal do we select to do this application? And one I'm going to tell you not to use, or actually I'm going to give you two that I would not suggest using. One is to use carbon steel filler metal. And I know we've all done that on non-critical applications like an exhaust system on a Sunday afternoon to patch it up with a little MIG welder because that's all you had available. But I'm going to tell you what can happen when you do that. When you weld on a non-hardenable grade of stainless steel like this, 304 stainless or 321 stainless, the weld deposit needs to be a non-hardenable weld deposit, an austenitic stainless steel weld deposit. But if you're welding to a carbon steel and you have a carbon steel filler wire, what you're going to actually have is a weld that is made from steel, alloyed with a little bit of chrome and a little bit of nickel from the stainless. And it could harden up to a very brittle microstructure and fail later in service. The other thing is a 304L stainless like this is typically welded with a 308L filler metal. And in that case, that's probably not good either because we're welding to carbon steel. So what we want to do is over-alloy with a higher grade of stainless. Now, there are three grades of stainless that are quite often used for welding to similar metals, and that would be a 309L, a 310, or a 312 stainless. I'm going to rule a couple of those out right now. 312 is an excellent grade for some applications, as long as that metal is not going to be operating above 800 degrees for extended periods of time. So exhaust system like this, catalytic converters can be pretty hot. I'm not going to recommend 312 stainless for that application. 310 stainless would work pretty well if that's what I had, but we have to be careful about solidification, cracking. There's absolutely zero ferrite in the weld, and sometimes phosphorus, sulfur, things that get into the steel can lead to solidification cracks on stainless steels that are fully austenitic. The 309 stainless has just enough ferrite in it to prevent solidification cracking, but not so much ferrite that it will develop a brittle microstructure at extended service temperatures above 800 degrees. So we're going to choose a 309 stainless for the filler metal today. For the hobbyist at home, my suggestion is what we're going to do today is use gas tungsten arc welding. We have a gas tungsten arc machine we're going to use here. It's a square wave TIG 200. I'm going to set this thing up on DC negative polarity. And I have my current up about 80 amps. Probably don't need all of that. But I do have a fairly thick 1/4 inch carbon steel flange, and I want to make sure I have enough heat to get into that flange. I'll kind of work with my foot pedal a little bit here and get the optimum current to make this particular weld. Normally we often talk about purging, and I would suggest purging in some cases in this on an exhaust system, but a lot of times it's not done. If it's a butt weld where the two pieces are full penetration weld, it's always necessary to purge. In this case, it's a fillet weld. My only concern is sugaring up the inside, so possibly backing it up with a little piece of copper will work just as well, or just keep the heat down so I don't melt through the inside. Welding real nice. Heat's just about right at 80 amps. But I'm getting where I got to make a stop. That's not a big deal, because I'm going to rotate the piece and make it easy for myself. Okay, so we finished our weld. We used 309L stainless steel filler metal. Real world application, I would probably put another weld around the inside of here and we'd be good to go. Thank you for visiting with us for another master class from ARC Magazine. I'm Carl Hose. See you next time.